of the curve. Joining us now is a powerhouse panel of institutional investors who have navigated India's market landscape with expertise. They have shaped trends, they have weathered storms and delivered results. Let's now hear from them on what makes institutions the true compass for market direction. Please join me in welcoming our panel of institutional investors for a session on navigating India's investment frontier. And please join me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming Ramesh Damani, who's the veteran investor and member, BSc. Also joining him, Madhusudan Kela, founder, MK Ventures. And Vijay Kedia, investor and speaker and founder, Kedia Securities. They will all be in conversation with Anuj Singhal for a session on institutions, the market's North Star.
Thank you so much, and thank you, audience. First of all, a big round of applause, please. We have three of the biggest market participants that you can hope for, and for a theme like Rising Bharat, perhaps there could not have been a better lineup. We have, of course, with us Mr. Ramesh Damani, a calm, macro-aware, long-term compounding believer. We have Madhu Kela, a sharp allocator, a thematic investor, an early trend spotter. And, of course, we have Vijay Kedia, always smiling, always singing, and always picking the best possible multi-baggers. So let's get this conversation going. And of course, we're talking about, Rameshji, a long-term story for India, right? A long-term story which, from the market point of view, perhaps is going through a bit of a speed bump. How do you think market right now sits in a Rising Bharat context?
I thank you, Anuj. Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful hall and this beautiful discussion. Thank you so much. I think the last few weeks, the market has been dominated by AI concerns, and is that going to take away the love affair we've had with tech to becoming a leper? So let me just address that first. Contrary to popular opinion, Anuj, a lot of people believe that NSE started the computerization program in India. But actually, in the middle 80s, the BSc started the computerization program. What happened was that there was an election, and the people who wanted the computerization to go forward lost the election, and the jobbers and the old-time brokers gained power at that time, and the computerization was pushed aside. But the lesson in that story is that at that time, on a busy day on the Bombay Stock Exchange, you do 400 crores worth of turnover. Today, India does collectively about $14 billion worth of transactions in a single trading session, just in the cash market itself. The point is that the market opportunity expands as new technologies come into place, as computerization happens, but the old people get left behind. So my feeling is that there's nothing to fear really about AI. I think the market is at this point just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I don't think there's... but there will be new winners and new losers, but as the Honorable Minister suggested, there's a multifold of opportunities coming up. And I'd just like to say what Charles Darwin said when he wrote the book of Evolution, The Origin of Species. He said it's not the strongest species that survives, it's not the most intelligent species that survive, it's the one that is the most adaptable to change. So if Indian tech industry adapts to change and don't ostracize, and there's some reason to believe that they are changing, I think the tech industry will come back bigger, stronger, more vital, as happened in so many industries before us, whether it's music or whether it's hotels. Digitization has been a huge power changer. So I think there is something to fear. It is a profound change. But I think the market is throwing the baby out of the bathwater. Having said that, other than the tech sector, whenever I go and visit companies or knock on doors, I see no reason to be bearish because people are expanding, people are optimistic, and people are happy.
Oh, absolutely. So let's discuss a bit more on that. Madhu, is the risk that these companies are now fighting for survival? This is a question of existence. Astitva ki ladai. Where do you stand on that? Because since Ramesh, started with that topic.
Anuj, first of all, thank you for having me. I deeply appreciate you remembering and calling Anuj, I think, first of all, on a lighter way, all 8 billion people have a view on AI today. There is no one in the world who doesn't have a view on AI. And everyone, the pace at which these changes are happening, every week something new is coming. So we have to be very alert and really monitoring these changes in a very careful manner. The other thing, as Rameshji said, I would say not only one example of BSc, NSC, but if you look at the 50-year history of civilization, technology has never made societies poorer, right? But at the same time, there will be Apple, Nvidia of the world which will come up, and there will be Blackberries and Kodaks of the world also, which will shrink, even though they being such significant large companies. So there will be clear winners and losers in this game, even within the IT companies. People who can really adapt to this change, and the change is coming much, much faster than we can emphasize, because see, AI is generating AI in itself, right? So the pace of change is very, very fast. So I'm sure there will be winners and losers. So you can't paint everyone with the same brush. However, the one, let's say, the short-term worry, in medium term it may get sorted out, employment is a real issue. That, because of the pace of change, the training which is required to get to the new jobs might take time, while the disruptions may happen in the short term. So these are things that are very dynamic, Anuj, but I remain very optimistic in the medium to long term. We have a fantastic skilled labor force, and as the so many people who are much, much more knowledgeable who came in the AI summit, and the normal consensus was that India has the capability to become kind of the AI layer provider and the solution provider to the world, and that opportunity is gigantic.
Okay. Vijay sir, what do you think? ऐसा एक सेंस बन रही है, एंथ्रोपिक जैसी कंपनी 2700 एम्प्लॉइज और उसका मार्केट कैप, एंथ्रोपिक जैसी कंपनी 2700 एम्प्लॉइज के मार्केट कैप के साथ आज हमारे पूरे आईटी सेक्टर से ज्यादा मार्केट कैप है उसका. इट्स लाइक इट वाज आई ओपनर फॉर मी आल्सो. व्हाट्स योर व्यू? आईटी में एंथ्रोपिक 2700 कंपनीज के 2700 एम्प्लॉइज के साथ आज मार्केट कैप इंडियन आईटी, पूरी इंडियन आईटी से ज्यादा. तो इज इट सम काइंड ऑफ वार्निंग साइन फॉर अस?
No, I definitely seen that what you are referring to Anthropic and all. Yeah. So what I read somewhere that they are having 2,700 or 800 employees.
Yes.
And the market cap of this company is combined all the IT company in the world.
Yes. Yes.
More than that.
Yes.
So of course it is a wake-up call for India. There is no doubt about it. If you will shut your eyes, that means you are still sleeping, So this is certainly a wake-up call, and I think that obviously we should also do. Manoj, there is it is like a catch-22 situation. I read somewhere, like if you are not investing in AI and all, then chances are that if you are investing, suppose blindly in AI and all, chances are that you will lose your capital. At the same time, if you do not invest in AI and all, chances are that you will lose your company. Then you have to decide whether you are happy with losing your capital or you are happy losing your company. So this is certainly a wake-up call for India and for the entire world, and mainly for India. But I personally feel that ultimately we will rise to the occasion. I think we will also find our own way and to deal with this situation.
Okay,
let me just add one point to what he said.
Sure.
The interesting stat I found yesterday was we all talking about Anthropic and how it's dominating the world of computing now. Yeah. But what does Anthropic use for its CRM system? It uses Salesforce, which is an old enterprise-level software company. So they will coexist. I think both these AI will be used to make enterprise software much better. I think AI software, because of the scalability, auditability, and importance, will not be taken over. You're not going to get a 20-year-old kid to wipe code an enterprise system. And the fact that Anthropic itself uses Salesforce probably tells you that.
Yeah, overnight Jack Dorsey's company sacked about 40% people. So there's a bit of a risk that are we looking at some kind of jobless growth going forward? So
I think it's just headline news. I don't think that's going to happen.
okay. Ramesh, you've seen many cycles, right? 2003, 2007, then we had the post-COVID bull market. Post-COVID bull market is when retail investors really came into the market. And this is something that you always envisage, that, you want to see a bull market where retail participates. That happened. But when I walked in this room, a lot of people were disappointed, despondent, because, they have not made money in last 2 years. The market's been very tiring. And the Nifty might be at 26,000, but people's portfolio here might be at 22,000 if they're lucky, and some people's portfolio may be around 18,000. What's your message in that case?
Yeah, Anuj, first of all, the idea that in equity markets you get linear returns, like 15% a year, go into fixed deposits if you want to do that. The returns are by definition lumpy. They will never be linear out there. So you'll have 4 good years and maybe 3 bad years. That's part of the game. But what is the CAGR over 7 years? You have to look at it from that perspective. Secondly, I believe there's some rotation going on in the market, that we're moving from the favorites of the market to other sectors. So I think sectors that are still performing well are defense, perhaps, materials and mining, all the physical goods that are being manufactured. Because the two trends that are very obvious to me, that all countries want to localize the defense. We can't rely on a rules-based America hegemony defining the world. So whether it's Europe, whether it's Japan, whether it's Asia, or whether it's America, each one will promote their own defense industry, and B, everyone will promote their own local manufacturing. So local mining, metals, local sourcing of supply will do good. So I think they're disheartened because perhaps they're looking at some wrong stocks, and we start looking at metals, pharmaceuticals, defense, you're probably seeing some appreciation.
Oh, absolutely. So Madhu, फिर पैसा कैसे बनेगा इस मार्केट में? Because we are stuck with only 10 or 12 stocks that are moving every day. Otherwise, it's been a bit of a downward journey for broader market in particular.
So Anuj, again, the question is that you can choose the point from where you want to make a judgment about your investment returns, right? I will choose a low point of COVID and said if I stayed invested in the markets, I've still done reasonably well, right?
Very
but
well.
And if you choose a point of time that let's say last 12 months mein nahi bana, 18 months bhi nahi bana. So I've been around for 35 years and we have seen much uglier cycles of negative return or prolonged, if you may call it bear market. But I think the time and again, these have always been proven to be opportunities. So let's say what has happened in the last 18 months, there's been literally no return. In 18 months, the small cap index is still down, maybe 11-12%. Roughly out of 1,000 companies, 350 companies are down more than 35-40%. And PE contraction between large cap and small cap index is between 15 to 35% in this time frame, while earnings are caught up. So I remain really very positive at this point of time about investing specifically in smaller companies. This is not random. You can't make a case that you invest in a small cap or any small company and you will make money. But I think there has been steep correction. Prices have fallen a lot. There is literally virtually no investor interest because every large mutual fund has compulsion to invest and look at only large companies, right? They don't have the bandwidth nor the intent to invest 50-100 crore rupees even in one small companies. So at this point of time, if you can selectively get it right, this is the best time to accumulate stocks for, whatever 3, 6, 9 months. And we have seen whenever we have bought stocks in this kind of environment is when we have really made serious money.
Okay, of course, the three gentlemen here are some of the best stock pickers, generating returns of 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 16,000 times, Mr. Kedia. Of course, is it getting tough to pick up multi-baggers now in this kind of market because of AI and because everything gets discounted so fast? Are you finding it tough to sort of find those kind of winners that you identified, say, 15 or 20 years ago?
So regarding the 16,400 times, whatever you said, Anuj, I would like to say that, as they say, कि खुदा मेहरबान तो गधा पहलवान, तो वैसे ही होता है. आप अगर टिके रहते हो, मेरा एक ही ये समझ में आता है कि जैसे आप एआई की बात कर रहे हो व्हाटएवर, आपको क्रीज पे पिच पे टिके रहने का आपको। ये सारी चेंजेस हम लोगों ने 100 सालों में देखते हुए आए हैं। टाइपराइटर यूज होता था, उसके बाद कंप्यूटर आ गया, फिर कंप्यूटर आ गया, Y2K आ गया, फिर इंटरनेट आ गया। तो ये सब अगर आप पिच पे टिके हो तो सब कुछ आप सब कुछ झेल लेते हो और अपना रास्ता आप निकाल लेते हो। आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट एप्लीकेबल इवन नाउ ऑल्सो। And second thing, as you said, that finding a multi-bagger, there is a quote of mine that, bull market is like sunshine. It is always there somewhere. तो ये जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन ये अगर आप एक चीज अगर देखोगे तो 1970s के अंदर में जो टॉप 10 इंडस्ट्रीज इंडिया के अंदर में थे, अगर उनकी आप अगर लिस्ट अगर देखोगे, समझो बिरला थे, टाटा थे, बांगड़ थे, साहूजन थे, गरवारे थे, लालचंद हीराचंद थे, सिंगानिया थे, वो सारी 90 आते हैं तो सारी लिस्ट चेंज हो गई है उनकी। अब आज उनका उनमें 2-3 लोग नाम है, जैसे बिरला है, समझिए टाटा है, नीचे की सारी 7-8 लिस्ट चेंज हो गई। टॉप 10 में नहीं है, ठीक है, बजाज एक है, लेकिन वो टॉप 10 में मतलब बाकी के नहीं है। ये लिस्ट अब वापस चेंज होने वाली है। 90 में वो ऑलरेडी चेंज हो गई थी। रिलायंस कहीं रडार पे नहीं था, कोई मालूम ही नहीं था रडार कहाँ पे रिलायंस ने। आज के दिन अदानी आ गए, अंबानी आ गए, भारती आ गए, ICICI बैंक आ गया, HDFC आ गया। ये सब 5-10 लाख करोड़ के मार्केट के पहले ये 10-15 कंपनियां। अगले आने वाले 10-20 साल में ये लिस्ट वापस चेंज होने वाली है। तो एज एन इन्वेस्टर हमको ये लिबर्टी है कि आज अगर हमको आज इसमें अगर इन्वेस्ट करना है तो हम अपना वो इन्वेस्टमेंट अपना बदल सकते हैं। तो मेरे को लगता है कि आने वाले 10-15 सालों के अंदर में इंडिया में इतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी होने वाली है। ऐसा लगता है कि जो पैसा आपने पहले बनाया है उससे ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी आने वाली है, लेकिन आपको अपने आंख कान खोले रखने पड़ेंगे, बायस्ड नहीं होना पड़ेगा, किसी चीज से वो नहीं होना पड़ेगा, और ग्रीडी होना पड़ेगा, फियरफुल आपको होना पड़ेगा उसके अंदर में, और लेकिन अनबायस्ड होना पड़ेगा। तो मेरे को लगता है ये सी चेंजेस जो है वो इंडिया के अंदर में अगले 10-15 सालों के अंदर में होने वाले गोल्डन पीरियड इंडिया का ही।
Okay,
If I can add, what Vijay bhai is saying, आप इंडियन मार्केट मल्टीबैगर खोजने का परेशानी बोल रहे हो, इवन इन एन अमेरिकन मार्केट विच इज लाइक 60-70% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ओवरऑल मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन, if you look at how many multi-baggers have been there in the last 5 years in American markets, you will be amazed.
Okay, what's
So
that number?
there will always be an opportunity to make disproportionate money in equities. It's only after 5 or 10 years we will realize what were the multi-baggers which were available today.
Okay.
I mean, Anuj, Nvidia was earning 3-4 years back $4 billion a year. Today it earned $45 billion a quarter.
Yeah.
A quarter. So, opportunities
And
always
it's
stare
still-
us in the face.
And it still kept, getting bigger. On this base, it's still giving 73% year on year.
And that's what I'm saying. If you can't say multi-baggers, you got Nvidia. 20 years back, go back, got Google. You got MetaBook if you bought it at $100.
When will India create our own NVIDIAs? When will India create our own NVIDIAs? At Rising Bharat, I think it's a
I'm
logical
sorry to
question.
say that I don't think that's going to happen. We're not really into a tech-driven research. We are better in services because of sheer population. We are better in conserving capital because we have shortage of capital in India always. So I think we'll focus on what we're good at.
Okay.
Are we good in leading edge research? I don't see that science yet.
Okay. So,
And Anuj, एक चीज जो अपने को करना ही पड़ेगा ना, which is not happen in this country, is our percentage of corporate profits being investment in R&D. It is still remains 0.5% of the overall corporate profits. Because this country, even on the wealth creation basis, is not rewarding ideas or innovation, but is only rewarding validations. Wherever things get validated, even new age companies in the stock market, जब वो प्रॉफिट बनाता है तो ही उसको पी मिलता है, तो ही मार्केट कैप होता है. So hopefully over a period of time that will change. While in the past we have been able to live through without investing in R&D, but we have to invest in R&D. We have to progress.
We also don't encourage immigration. I mean, a lot of the companies in America that have created these fortunes were built by immigrants. This is a national economy, domestic consumption, large economy. So we'll play to our strengths.
now even America is not allowing immigration.
Yes, yes. And so innovation, patterns, research will go down in America.
Maybe we can have reverse immigration now.
It actually will happen, yes.
Okay. Vijay, any particular theme that you are bullish on right now? We're running out of time, but any particular theme that is you're extremely bullish on right now?
तो इसमें ऐसा यार मिले न फूल तो कांटों से दोस्ती कर ली तो मैंने अब एआई वीआई का तो अपने हाथ में मालूम नहीं कौन सी कंपनी आएगी, कौन सी कंपनी एआई में जाएगी या नहीं जाएगी, क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा. तो उसकी जो प्रॉक्सी वाली जो कंपनी है अगर हम उसको अगर पकड़ें तो भी अपना जीवन सुधर सकता है, राइट. तो सपोज एआई का अगर नहीं मालूम है तो जैसे लोग कि तुम ज्यादा होशियारी मत लगाओ, चाइना तुमसे कई गुना आगे है, तुम जाकर अपने यहाँ पावर की कैपेसिटी बढ़ाओ, नहीं तो तुम्हारे यहाँ लोड शेडिंग होने वाली है। ये चाइना के एक मिनिस्टर यूएसए को बोल रहा है। रिलेटेड जो सेक्टर है ये नया एआई बन जाएगा हमारे लिए। या मेटल के जो सेक्टर है जो बातें कर रहे हैं कि हाँ चाहे डेटा सेंटर हो एआई हो, उसमें क्या मेटल यूज होने वाला है, चाहे उसमें एल्यूमिनियम हो या जो भी हो, वॉटेवर हो, वो एक नई स्टोरी बन सकती है। तो हमको ऐसी स्टोरी ढूंढनी चाहिए जो डायरेक्ट अगर वो नहीं भी हो तो भी उसकी प्रॉक्सी हो, तो भी एक बहुत मल्टीबैगर हमको यहाँ पर मिले।
Okay, same question, 30 second for 2047. If we are looking at Madhubhai, 2047, 20-year horizon. What's the best theme to bet on for India, for Rising Bharat?
I agree partially with Vijay Bhai ki AI infrastructure, essentially if we can call it, the companies which are contributing to AI infrastructure, which could be, there will be companies which will build data centers, there will be companies which will participate in power, there will be various kinds of opportunities which will come up. But if I take a 20-year view, I am most bullish on people who will be able to use AI for either enhancing their businesses significantly or cutting the cost, right? And still being very, very relevant moat. And Anuj, एक नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ, हिंदुस्तान में कम से कम, you mark my word, ऐसी 100 कंपनियां आएगी which will be able to do this.
Okay. Thankfully, I am also using a lot of AI now because I don't want to be redundant. Ramesh ji, very quickly, the theme you are most bullish on currently.
You know, Anuj, I think what will happen is market will want the anti-AI themes. They'll want things that are not affected by AI because it's uncertainty. So infrastructure, it is not affected. Pharmaceuticals, India is the medicine shop of the world. It'll continue to do well. I think metals and manufacturing, which have always been treated very poorly as second cousins commodities, will do well because people want local source of supply. So I would say infrastructure, pharma, and metals and minerals.
Oh, absolutely.
Not 25 years, but next 5 years.
Okay, we still have about a minute. We are at Rising Bharat, and Vijay Kedia, of course, is a gifted singer as well, apart from being a very good investor. He has written some lines on which will, justify the theme of Rising Bharat. So, Vijay, over to you. Of course, please.
साहस समझ और श्रम तुम्हारे अब है आकाश हमारा, हो शिक्षित विकसित भारत, ये भी है बड़ी आजादी। नई विधि नीति तकनीक से ही फूले फले आबादी, हो पैसों की भी आजादी, समृद्धि की हो अभिलाषा, हो सुखी सुरक्षित जीवन, समझो निवेश की भाषा। धैर्य लगन मनोबल से अब बनो तुम स्वाभिमानी, अब अपने ही कौशल से लिखो भारत की कहानी, ऐ मेरे भारतवासी।
All right. Thank you so much. Vijay Bhai, Madhu, Ramesh Damani, thank you so much. Please, big round of applause for all our guests today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anuj. Thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen. Huge round of applause for Mr. Damani, Mr. Kedia, and Mr. Kela. Anuj, thank you so much for that lovely session. Now, we've seen how connectivity, infrastructure, and appropriate policy enablement can empower people, fuel dreams, and fulfill aspiration. So now, let's explore how grit, talent, and teamwork have propelled champions to the pinnacle of sporting success. Let's shift gears.